Hello, I'm live. If you've got any questions, just ask. I'm a little bit early. 7 minutes. Let's see if anyone turns up. Hiya, how are you? How's it going? Do you have any questions about your diet, your exercise, your lifestyle, your fitness? Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you. So if you've got a question, just ask, post it up, and then we'll start the live chat. Just posting on my group. Thank you for coming to the live chat. Have you got any questions? Please subscribe, please subscribe. Just waiting for more people to join. Thank you for your patience. Oh, didn't see. Thank you. What is your question? Doesn't have to be. I won't see it as stupid. It can be anything. So just ask. So what's the question? Oh. Yes, we all have abdominal muscles. No human is born without abdominal muscles. We all have them. It just depends on the amount of fat you have covering them, whether you can see them or not. Oh, your message has been rejected. I don't know why. But we all have abdominals. Oh, hello. Please subscribe. Please comment if you want me to answer your comment. Hello. So I'm Scott Bryant. I've been in the health and fitness industry for 20 years. I've been working out for over 40 years. Started as a skinny twat and then put on muscle with hard training, not giving up, and always keep going and keep testing and challenging myself to stay big and strong. So if you've got a question, just post your question. Can be on anything. Yeah, I worked out earlier on today. You'll see some of the stuff that I did. If you look at the channel, we'll see them videos, the latest videos. I was just messing around, but I did 5 sets of kettlebell deadlifts, then I did some body blade work, then I did some shoulder work, trap work, and then I did some bicep work, and then I was done. Oh, I did some abs as well, forward ball roll. So yes, I had a nice workout today, not too hard or extreme, but did enjoy it. Any other questions? So I'm Scott Bryant, your host. I've been in the fitness industry for 20 years, personal trainer for 20 years, master pull check practitioner. It might not mean anything to you, but been working out for over 40 years. Really enjoy it. I do a lot of holistic healing with my clients as well as normal health and fitness training. I look at diet and lifestyle as well as healing for the client. And I use a very in-depth, comprehensive program in which to get clients into shape, fitter and stronger forever. Hello, please subscribe. Hello, mate. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Good to see you on the podcast. Thank you. Have you got any questions for me today? Any worries about your diet, your exercise? Oh, what was that? Oh, thank you very much. Please, you like them. I'll try and upload a few each week, all different exercises. I don't know if you know the TRX. I will be doing some videos on the TRX over the next couple of weeks or days. And then as soon as the weather gets better, I'll be doing a lot more videos outside over the park, especially with my tornado ball, so you can see some real hardcore exercises. So the 3 people on the podcast, do you all exercise? It's all right. If you've got no weights and you want to condition yourself, then it's okay. Oh, fantastic. You ordered a tornado ball. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing that video. I'll tell you a funny story. I was in the gym and I got my first tornado ball from the Czech Institute. And I went into the gym with a mate of mine and I said to him, if my ball bursts when you're playing with it, you'll have to... Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to send it to me. So went in the gym with my mate with a tornado ball. And a tornado ball, the Czech ones, are really fast and quite heavy. So I took it in the gym. We started smashing it around. And all of a sudden it exploded and all this rubber went flying around the gym. And me and my mate had to sneak out of the gym, but lucky enough, none of the rubber hit anybody. But that's the only thing with the tornado balls, is that they can explode if you're not careful. So, and remember, if you're using a tornado ball,
it's 8 o'clock.
If you're using a tornado ball, you can only use them for about 10 seconds. Then you have to rest. Otherwise, you can really mess up your spine and other parts of the body. So you really need to be careful. Thank you for subscribing. Please share. Please like the video. Any other comments or questions? So 20 years in fitness and I'm still in it and I'm still working out. So 50 next year in February. So don't forget my card and my birthday cake. Oh, I've got one in the cupboard. It's not a Czech fitter machine. It's made by the fitter company. It's very expensive. I've got it in the cupboard. I'll probably do some videos on it when I get my video man round, and you'll be able to see how to use it and what you can do with it. It is a great bit of kit, but it's very hard to use. And I'm waiting for a skateboard so I can do blindfolded bicep curls on a skateboard. So that should be fun. Of course, I've got biceps. Everyone's got biceps. So they're about 17 inches at the moment. Where do I get? Where do get on it in the UK? What do you mean? Where do I train? I train indoors at the moment. I used to be a member of a different gym, and I cancelled it because the gym is smelly, sweaty, and horrible, and not clean. So I cancelled my membership. So I'm just training indoors and outside at the moment. But we'll go back to big boy training very soon. Oh, let me put this back on. Don't hear me being sick with my hairy chest. Right, let's have a look at that again. Sorry. Right, so there's a good question. Depends on the physiological load of the client. Depends if they have any back pain or anything like that. But balance work, you really should do it when they're fresh. And if they're not fresh, then you can end up depleting the system. So you've got to be very flexibility, stability, strength, speed, and power. Now, in most of the gym programs, it's all in speed and power straight away. But how I work my clients out, it's always going into flexibility, then stability work. So it's all about watching your client and seeing what they're ready for. So you could get them to do some deadlifting, say, and then you could get them to balance on the Bosu. As long as they don't have back pain or back issues and stuff like that. So you've got to be really, really careful on what you give your clients. Otherwise, you'll trash them and they'll end up saying, I've got lower back pain 1 to 2 days after their workout, and it's your fault, not theirs. So really important to get program design really, really looked at. Please subscribe, please subscribe. And if you've got any questions, just post the question and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. But a really good question, yes. Yeah. Yeah, the fitter machine is good. I've got one here. If we're talking about the same thing that you use for skiing, for skiers. Plus you can use it for people that have a balance issue or a gait issue. There's many things that you can do with a fitter. You can train intrinsic loads as well as, you know, do one leg balancing and stuff like that. Say you've got somebody that's had an accident in some way. Eldoa. I've tried some of the stretches in Eldoa. I've not done the course simply because I feel that holding a stretch for 10 minutes is boring for clients and they won't enjoy it. And then what I realised is that with the course in Eldoa, you've got to do many levels before you get your certificate. So in my opinion, it's another money-making scheme. The stretches in Paul's book, Eat, Move, and Be Healthy, and stretches in other books that I've seen are more than enough. Because some of the stretches in the Eldoa, you're holding the stretch for so long that your client will get bored and you'll end up losing clients. Hello, who's this? I think for me, coming into the fitness industry was something I should have done years ago. But in 2020, there was no personal trainers. Personal trainers weren't really thought after and wasn't the mainstream in 2020, but now it's really mainstream. Any gym you go in, there's a personal trainer. I went into the holistic route because I'm very right-brained, so some people can be left-brained, some people can be right-brained, and the difference is, if you're right-brained, you like really holistic stuff. No, if they're not willing to be assessed, then I won't work with them. So I will say to a female client, like you asked, they come in a sports bra and a pair of nice short shorts. I have had girls go into their underwear, but I'm not looking at their, their body. I'm not looking at their sexual parts. I'm looking at their body and being really professional. National Academy of Sports Medicine, it's another very deep qualification. It'll take you a long time to get, and it's not as practical as what I've learned with the Czech Institute. So the Czech Institute, the reason why I did it, because it was very practical. It took a long time to learn. Yeah, of course I'm familiar with functional patterns. I use them all the time on myself and my clients. So please subscribe if you're new to the live podcast. Thank you. Yeah, so qualification wise in the industry, there's a gazillion amount of bits of paper that you can get. And what you'll find is that some are highly recognised and some are not. And in the UK, the companies just say, are you reps level 1, 2, 3 or 4? They're not really worried about whether you've done Czech, Premier, YMCA or sports medicine or sports science or you've got a degree. Most of the guys that I've met that have got degrees in sports science are useless. They don't know what they're doing when they're training somebody for function, and when they're trying to PT somebody, they're too much in their head and they're not concentrating on the client enough. That's just my personal opinion. So with me being in my right brain and not in my left brain as much, I'm more of the visual, watch the client, get them in the position and palpate them, make sure they're firing their abdominals, make sure their breathing is really good. I'll release their diaphragm, I may release their atlas, I may do work on their eyes and their jaw, depending on what problem arises when I'm doing an assessment. And remember that the assessment I do is 2 to 4 hours. So I give the client the choice. And then when we do diet and lifestyle coaching, that might take 20 days. And then with lab testing and everything else I need to do. Yeah, I don't believe in that neither. So again, you're posting a question that's too mathematical, logical. You need to get out of your left brain and go into your right brain. So you need to do some artwork after you train, so you can go more into your left brain, into your right brain. Sorry. Doctors. Yeah, you're very, very right about that. Many doctors, if they had Mike Tyson and they were doing a physical assessment on him, the first thing they'd say to him, "Oh, Tyson, you're obese." How can he be obese when he's 15 stone of ripped muscle, 5'11", and heavyweight boxer in the world? So, but doctors are great at when you're really sick and nothing is working, or you break a leg, or you break an arm, or you damage something really badly that you need medical attention for. So I don't poo-poo doctors at all, because they may not know about diet because they only spend, I think it's 1 day studying diet when they're at university for 3 years. But the difference between a doctor and a trainer is that a doctor has to work with 1,000 patients a week. So if that doctor's working with 1,000 patients a week, I'm back again. Sorry, it all froze up. So post your questions if you've got more questions. No, I won't get the COVID vaccination. Not at all. It's a very bad idea. A few people have died. Hello, are you there? Yes. Obesity is a real problem, and it's across the 40% of the UK are obese, and the doctors don't really know what to do, because a patient will go in there and the doctor will go do the South Beach diet, but because they're not in shape themselves, they're not working out themselves, they don't really understand diet and lifestyle and exercise and how to prescribe a good exercise program. So if you've got depression, say, the doctor will go, will take the antidepressants, not go for a walk, have a wank, go down the park, stroke your dog or your monkey. That's a joke. Or they don't really understand that, but some but some doctors are now. When I went to see my doctor about something, she was very open, the holistic approach. So doctors are starting to change, but it's a very slow process. And in the UK, they're saying 85% of the population are on one type of drug or another. And the government said that this needed to change because it's costing the government a lot of money. Oh, huge. Yeah, walking, taking a dog for a walk, any type of exercise for anxiety, I think is magical without having to have without having to take any drugs, I think everybody should go down the drug route, the last point of call, So if you've feeling really depressed and you tried walking, you tried... Yeah, no drugs, definitely. And just use Mother Nature. If you're getting a cold, lemon juice and echinacea and vitamin C, vitamin D and magnesium and zinc all power up the system naturally without you having to take some sort of, antibiotic. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're totally out there. Uh, but you can't put everyone in the same box. You've got to remember that some doctors have great intentions and they may just be miseducated. And if you're in the health world or you've read a lot of books or something, try and help educate your doctor if your doctor's not got too much of a big ego. And some doctors have a huge ego and they won't listen to anybody else, and they studied everything out of books, not studied it from people. But you still got to remember they may have worked with 1,000 clients with different ailments, different illnesses, and they get them over it. Yeah, the pyramid system doesn't work at all. And what works, in my opinion, is a good organic diet, drinking your body weight in ounces of water a day, exercising at least 4 times a week, and loving yourself. Many people don't love themselves, got mortgages they can't pay, sleeping to a wife or girlfriend they hate, and they wonder why they're gaining fat because they're eating bad food. Or in the old gym that I used to train at, I used to walk around and talk to people and say, have you got a gym program? Oh yeah, it's in my head. And I say to them, well, if you had to fix a car, would you lift up the bonnet and do it out of your head, or would you have a manual? Oh, that's great. That's brilliant. You got her off her meds. Yeah, the medical referral system, it's just the qualification that makes the gym company money. The doctors will only refer to you if they're working with you one-to-one. And trying to get a doctor to work with you one-to-one is quite hard. I've got a doctor that I've been working with for 18 years, and he always tries to refer me people. He's absolutely brilliant. But he knows I know my stuff, and he knows that I'm not going to hurt anybody. And in 20 years, I never have. I always make sure I stick to the protocol and hear what my client is saying, and don't let my ego override what they're saying. If I feel that a client is in danger, say they get on a Swiss ball when I'm not there, I take them to one side and I say, if you do that again, we're not working together anymore. Simply because you're not listening to me, and if you fall off that Swiss ball and break your arm, your hip or your knee or your ankle, you're not going to be able to train for 6 to 12 weeks. So please don't be silly. Only get on the Swiss ball when I'm around. So I instill this in them to all my clients. You don't train until I turn up. You don't go on the gym floor till I turn up. And them rules have kept me out of using my insurance in which to pay for a negligent allegation, which has never happened. So I think that this is really, really important, because I know people have balanced on Swiss balls and broke their arm, broke their knee, broke their leg. So you have to be really, really careful, especially now with, you know, the suing mentality in America is really huge. It's not so big in the UK, but you still have to be careful. Any other questions? Yeah, calorie counting, don't calorie count. Just go by your hunger and how you feel and what you see in the mirror or on the scales. Right, every client is playing their own movie in their head. So if they come to you to lose weight and you tell them a diet and lifestyle program that they need to try, if they don't lose 1 or 2 pounds in the first week, is that because they're too toxic? Is that because they're cheating? Is that because they're losing inches and not losing weight? So I would find that out first, and then if I find out that they are cheating and listening, I will wait till their next session was going to be paid for. Like say they've done a block session of 3 months. Then when they're coming up to that new block session, I would say to them, do you really want to work with me? Because you've not lost no weight. You've missed 10 sessions out of 50, say. I say, you don't seem to be really committed. So I'm giving you a chance to tell me what we need to do or what we can change. And if they don't, then I fire them. I just say, look, I can't work with you. You're not listening. Your body's not changing. I'm just your rent-a-friend, and I'm not going to be a prostitute for you. So go and find someone else. But 9 times out of 10, if they're not changing, it's something the trainer or the practitioner is missing. Or maybe you just haven't got a deep enough connection to that client, or the client is not driven enough to do it. And that's when, if your rate is really, say you're £35 an hour trainer, compared to me, you know, 150, 180 pounds an hour, you get a lot more commitment from a client, because when they're paying X amount of money, they want to get the result. Right, so yes, I have fired a few clients. I'm not somebody that puts up with nonsense, and I'm very forthright with the client. Yeah, women's hormones can be a big problem, and I think if a woman's storing a lot of body fat, and there's certain diets I get them on, if they don't lose a lot of weight, then I do harp into body fat caliper measurements. And once I've done that, then if they're still not losing weight, then I'll say to them, let's get a lab test done and find out what's going on with your hormonal system. Many women eat too many carbohydrates, so they might need to eat less carbohydrates. So there's a great book that you can read. It's called Outsmarting the Female Fat Cell by Deborah Waterhouse. That is an amazing book. It's one of the first books I read that I had to read with the Czech Institute. And that book explains about women's emotions and how their hormones fluctuate, and why they may be migrating more to carbohydrate foods than protein foods. But then again, if you've got a woman that's a carbohydrate type and you get her to eat like a protein type, she'll have no energy and feel like shit. But if she's a protein type but eating like a carb type, and you get her to eat like a protein type, she'll feel amazing and she'll drop a load of weight. So it's about finding out what their genetic type is and getting their hormones tested to find out what's going on. It's called Outsmarting the Female Fat Cell by Deborah Waterhouse. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're new to the podcast, and thank you very much for joining. Ask any questions on fitness, diet, lifestyle, or exercise, or even shamanic healing if you want to talk about that. Anybody else with any more questions? So a woman's body is much more fragile than a man, so you got to be careful how you train them as well. In hormonal levels, you're looking at their estrogen to testosterone for one, and then you're looking to see whether they've got a leaky gut or not, and then you're looking to see whether they've got a fungus or parasite infection, and many women have big parasite and fungal infections. Yeah, Outsmarting the Female Fat Cell by Deborah Waterhouse. That is the name of the book. It is brilliant. It really opens up your mind about, because she runs a fat clinic for women, and she found by doing these certain diets, and women are different types as well, when you get their type right, the food right, the exercise right, then the body changes. So I won't train a woman if they just want to run on the treadmill. I will say to them, go and book another trainer, because I need to train with women that want to train hard and are determined. And if that means I'm going to do boxing with them, as long as they ain't got no lower back pain or no other issues, then I will do that. No, I don't think weight training is dysfunctional. It depends on what the client's issue is. So I do the 4-hour assessment. I'm looking at their infant development. So if their infant development is not correct and that's causing them pain, then I will give them infant development exercises to start off with. Then I will get them ready for function. So in the check system, there's 7 functional movement patterns. So I assess them functional movement patterns, and if they can't do them patterns, I document it, and then I include it in their program until they can do it. And if a client says to me, I don't like doing this exercise, I'll say to them, I don't like training you, go home. Or, what is it you don't like about the exercise? And they give you some cock and ball story. So then what I'll do is I'll give them exactly the same exercise, but in a different way, so they still do it, but they don't know it's the same exercise, but presented in a different way. So you've got clients that will try and play mind tricks with you, and I'm averse to all these mind tricks. So with guys, when guys go, oh, I don't want to do my press ups, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that, I just whisper in their ear, I go, are you a man or a pussy? And when they realise I'm calling them a pussy, all of a sudden they step themselves up and they really want to go for it, because that's not flattering their ego. So I found, with working with clients for over 20 years, is that you have to use some of these things in which to fire people up. And when you fire them up and you get the work done, and then you go at the end, how was the session? Did you enjoy it? Did you get all what you wanted from it? 90.9% of the time I always get, I really enjoyed that, Scott, it was excellent. Or they might go, I don't feel I performed as much as I thought I was going to perform in the session. So what I will say to the client is, as long as you improve by 1% every session, that's all I'm worried about. So if you're seeing a client twice a week for a year, 1%, add that up, there's probably 75% of improvement that they're getting. And if a client comes to you, say in January, February, and it's just their starting of their program, they're going to improve by 200% if they stick to the program. And I've seen this time and time again with clients, but the consistency is really important. If a client quits within 3 months, they'll give up and they'll become a failure. Thank you for joining the live chat. Please subscribe. So really, really important that you entertain your clients, give them what they need, listen to them, because they're going to give you, tell you what they've been doing that day, what happened to their dog yesterday, and all this type of stuff. And I like all that. And become a friend, but don't let your client dominate you. You're in charge. You're the trainer. So that's how I work. So if you don't toe the line, I'll take you in the office and go, look, you need to toe the line. You need to start listening. Otherwise, we need to end the contract. And most clients will be, oh fuck, I've paid him £5,000. We're only £1,000 into it, so he's not going to give me my money back. So I need to carry on, you know. So that always helps. Oh, definitely, yeah. I've had some vampire clients, and yes, we did Chat Practitioner Level 4 together. Chris O'Hara, he sent me a text today. We get on really, really well. When it comes to energy vampire or clients, you've got to protect your own energy. So what you can do is close your eyes and imagine you've got a glass prism over you, protecting you. Or you can carry an amulet or a crystal. So you could put a crystal in your pocket, or you could carry an amulet, something like that. Or you can wear a necklace. I've got necklaces here that I wear sometimes. So you can use all these different techniques in which to protect your energy when you're with a client, you know. And if a client is crossing the border or your line, then you need to tell them. And the same with clients turning up late. If a client turns up late to me, I go, oh, you're 20 minutes late. We're only working out for 20 minutes. And if they get the hump, I go, look, you know the rules, you signed the contract, so get with it, come on time. Yeah. Yeah, just be, you know, you've just got to be, thank you. You've just got to be firm but fair, you know, and that's how I am. If you bullshit me, I'll bullshit you. If you want to make my session hard training you, I'll make your session hard. I'll get you to hold horse stance. You're supposed to hold it for 10 seconds. I'll get you to hold it for 30 seconds. So you're shaking like a leaf and tired. IMS1, I changed the name because they changed the name. The Czech practitioner system has been going for over 25, 26 years. Now, when you go into a gym, nobody knows who Paul Chek is. So if nobody knows who Paul Chek is and they've changed the name of the qualification, how the fuck are any Czech practitioners going to get well known? It's not going to happen. And I've been studying the Czech system since 2003. Obviously, you know, I'm a master, done all the courses. And I still go into gyms and, you know, other guys will see that I'm in good shape and see what I'm doing on the Swiss ball. One arm 65 kilo pressing, or one arm curling or something like that. And they'll go, who have I studied with? And I'll go, Paul Chek. And they'll go, I've never heard of him. So that's, in my opinion, the IMS 1 or whatever, that's one mistake that they've made, a huge mistake, is changing the name. Why change the name? It's never going to be mainstream, ever, in my opinion. Oh, thank you very much, Jerry, for agreeing with me. And other level 4s will agree as well, and we all agreed with it. But what they didn't do at the Institute that really angered me is that they say they got 5,000 practitioners worldwide. So why didn't they survey all of us to find out what our opinion was? Because it affects our businesses. And we're calling ourselves Czech practitioners. And once I went to see the doctor goes, what do you do for a living? I goes, I'm a Czech practitioner. And you should have seen the look on her face. She was mortified that I was calling myself a practitioner, because she thought I meant general practitioner. But when I said corrective holistic exercise kinesiologist, then she understood a little bit, you know. So really, they've really made a big boo-boo, in my opinion. But what they're doing really is, if you're new to the Czech system, you'll be totally wowed by the knowledge in the Czech system. But if you're old to the Czech system, you will know that scientific core, scientific program design is all old. None of it is new. They've updated really small amounts of it and then repackages it, relabeled it, and that's all what they've done new, which is wrong as well, in my opinion. So I know about 9 guys that I've mentored who've done the Czech system. They're not Czech practitioners, they're not working in the gym, and they've got no effing clients. Why? Because if you can pay, they'll give you the paper. If you can pay, you can do the course. Not, are you in the industry? Are you working with clients? Okay, so HLC1 is amazing. Program Design 2 is really good from a point of view, the knowledge in there, but 90% of it you're never going to use. And the difference between Charles Parlequin and Paul Chek, Charles Parlequin is dead, obviously, but Charles Parlequin's programs get mega results, as in speed, power, strength, and looking buff. Now, the Chek system can get you looking buff, but how many Chekies do you know are working with Olympic athletes? I know one, and I don't even know whether he's working with them anymore. And I know another one that was working for a big football team, but they didn't get the Chek system, so he had to leave. So it's really important that we understand that with the Parlequin system, because it's all about strength and conditioning and not all the woo-woo stuff that I love, but because Charles got these major conditioning results, you don't really see Chek practitioners talking about that, and that's what's wrong. That's what's not right, in my opinion. No, I don't think Parlequin is better than Paul. I think Parlequin had a huge ego, and from what I can see, he wasn't a very nice guy to people. So I didn't really like that. But with Paul Chek, he's very loving, very caring, very concerning, and generally wants to change the world. Where Parlequin, I think he was more in it for money, but looking at the results that the Parlequin guys get are very good compared. Well, it's a bit different. Doing the Chek system, you're working with people with chronic pain and illnesses. Yes, I've got it here. It's a very good book. Yeah, I would love to, but they don't listen to anyone. They're all stuck in their heads and in their ego. All right, yeah, so I'm not saying that the academy is bad. All I'm saying is that if you're new to the system, it's amazing. But if you're not new to the system and maybe you've done other studying, it may not be as amazing, if that makes sense. Oh, don't put them inside your body. They will cause formaldehyde and cause your body to be very toxic if you're taking artificial sweeteners when the body is at a certain temperature. So no artificial sweeteners, but stevia and stuff like that is fine and very healthy for the system. So I'm not poo-pooing the Chek Academy. When I studied with the Chek Institute, we bought the prerequisites and then we studied, then we done the courses. So we didn't have... oh, thank you, Jerry. So we didn't have to pay £300 a month every month when most people have mortgages, cars and other things to pay for. So I feel that they should have both. They should have the Chek Academy and have the other system where you can pay as you go when your finances can afford it. And I think that would be much better, in my opinion. What other questions? Any more? Thank you, everybody, for coming to the podcast tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm drinking coconut water, if you're wondering. Can you build muscle doing circuits? Yes, you can. All right, so you've done lots of them. The only thing with the online stuff that I don't like particularly is that you're not palpating, you're not touching, you're not working with the client as well as you could if you're on a course where you're working with other practitioners or other trainers where you can learn off of each other. That's the only thing that you miss when you're doing online stuff. Now, I've got lots of certificates behind my name, and we can all have lots of certificates behind our name, but it isn't the certificate that makes you, it's what you do with your client and the results that you can get. That's what makes you. And if you can get somebody from forward head of 7 centimeters and get them to 3 centimeters in 6 weeks, then you've did an amazing job. If you've got a client with 5 different parasites that is making them feel like they're going mad, and you manage to get rid of 6 of them and get their gut healthy again, and they drop 20 pounds, then that's a huge result. Like, I had a client that couldn't lift 7 pounds off the floor. After a year, he was doing 170 kilos off the floor. So with doing all that studying is great, but you've got to put it into practice and get it to work for yourself and your clients, you know. I'm going to be 50 and I'm still deadlifting 180, one arm chest press on the Swiss ball, 65 kilo bicep curl. So I wouldn't have been able to maintain that strength with just basic qualifications of YMCA. The Czech Institute and the Harlequin stuff helped me to grow as a trainer and to help my clients in an even deeper way. But because I get clients with chronic problems, that's why I'm grateful to the Czech Institute and Paul Czech. And that's why he's a multimillionaire, because, you know, the program does work. It's just the management side of it is not very good, in my opinion. Because one of the things is that when you become a level 4, it doesn't mean that you're automatically asked to become a teacher for the Institute. It doesn't happen like that. You are asked to do other stuff, but they want you to do everything for free. But why should you do it for free when you've paid them 15, 20, 30 grand? You know, it's all relative, isn't it? So I think it's really important that you be aware of that if you're deciding, and this is my big argument with them for a long, long time, is that if you want somebody to spend 15 to 20 grand with you, yes, the information needs to be amazing, which it is. But on top of that, there needs to be a golden pot of money or a golden pot of something at the end. But there isn't. So there's many guys, they study all the way to where I've gone and where me and Chris has gone. But there's no golden pot at the end of it, apart from the golden pot that you make yourself. Does that make sense? And a lot of the business model that they use doesn't work. You know, get your own gym. Okay, get your own gym. Pay not VAT, pay tax, pay national insurance, pay rent, pay business rates, pay for the toilet paper. Yeah, I've worked with some golfers. And I've worked with some movie stars and pop stars as well. So what was I saying? Yeah, so when you open up your own place, you've got to pay for the rent, you've got to pay for the electric, you've got to pay for the equipment, you've got to pay the staff, you've got to pay the cleaner if you're not going to clean it yourself. So you've got this huge expense for really little return. So unless you're like 180, 200 pounds an hour trainer, how the hell are you going to pay all them bills? So I know 9 trainers, all had their own gyms, all closed, all gone bankrupt. Because of that reason, because they decided, right, I'm going to open up my own place. Oh, this is good for my ego. This is great. I've got my own place. It's brilliant. But then their rates were £50 an hour. So in the PT world, you might only work 4 hours one day, 6 hours the next, maybe 9 hours the next. That's not enough to pay the bills. And the guys, one guy that I knew, I don't know if he's watching, he might be. I said, can I use your gym for my clients? No. Why not? Because it's my gym. I went, yeah, but I'm going to pay you rent and I'm going to use the gym with my clients. No, you can't do that, Scott. Well, why not? I'm paying you money. You're getting revenue. No, I'm not having you in there. Do you see what I mean? So they let their ego get in the way of making money. So then they end up crashing and not making any money simply because their ego's too high because, oh, I've got all my own weights and only me and my clients are allowed to use them. Stupidness. It's total stupidness. If you're a business person, you would go, right, I've got 4 spaces. My clients come in at this time. These 4 spaces are free. Let's rent them out. And then the good trainers that come, if they're regular and they're giving me money regular, I'll make sure they get a cheap rate and they're looked after so they never leave. And this is what's happening in the industry now, is that they're finding that the turnover of trainers is so quick. Because one gym I've heard about, which is crazy, they're watching their trainers on the camera. I think it's pence. With the check system, if you're doing level 1, level 2, level 3 and level 4, it's all one-to-one. You cannot do it on fucking line. It's got to be one-to-one. Oh, I'm not worried about that at all. I don't give a shit. But the thing is, what I notice is that there's more energy vampire trainers than what there is clients. So you got to remember that one as well. So I had a trainer come up to me and we were chatting in the gym. This is a long while ago. And I was chatting to him and I said about, you know, how clients can be funny. Has he got a contract? And he went, no, I haven't, but that's a great idea, Scott. Then he texted me the next day and he went, if I send you a copy of my contract, will you send me a copy of yours? I went, do you think I'm stupid, mate? You haven't even got a contract. We was only talking the other day. And I paid £250 to get my contract assessed by a lawyer and stuff. So there's no way I'm going to give it out for free unless that trainer's working with me from the check point of view. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. Jerry. Ha ha ha. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, trainers can be big energy vampires. I've had trainers call me. They ring me up, they go, hello, Scott. I go, all right, how are you? This guy's name was Mark, and he went, hello, Scott. I know you're a level 3 now. He said, would you mind lending me your scientific core, scientific back, and program design? And I went, have we ever been out for dinner together? And he went, no. I went, have we ever been out for a drink together? And he went, no. I said, have we ever been out fighting when we've been pissed together? He went, no. I said, well, we're not friends, so why are you asking me to give you something that I've paid £250 or £300 for, that I know if I lend it to you, I'll never get it back? Please don't call me again. Boom. So it happens a lot. You know, I get other trainers will call me and go, I had this as well. I had another trainer call me and went, hello, Scott. I went, hello. He went, a family member of mine is ill. What do I need to do? And I went, well, you need to get them to do the HLC and pay me. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the industry is a complete joke, and it will stay a complete joke because nobody's got the balls to get up and change it. Like I said about the reps qualification and done a YouTube video on it, and I got a threatening email. So I took it down simply because I didn't want to get, you know, loads of fucking grief for nothing, you know. But we all know reps stink. There's only 4 people running the company, but charging trainers whatever how much every year for something that is never asked for. The same with you checkies. Your clients will never ask if you're a checkie. None of them. If they come through the internet, the only ones that will ask if you're a checkie are other trainers. No, it's not. I don't believe it. Program design is because you're not working one-to-one with people. HLC is because you're not working one-to-one with people. You're using documentation to find stuff out. But check level 1, 2, 3 and 4. No, definitely not. It should not be online, in my opinion. How are you going to palpate the atlas online? How are you going to assess the TMJ and the eyes online? You can't do it. It's impossible. How are you going to know the landmarks on how to press the body and and feel the body. It's just a money making system. Do not do it. Please don't do it. Or if they say, right, you're going to do so much in a call online, then you're going to go in the class for 10 days, then yes. I wouldn't know. He's a nutter. I'm a bit of a nutter, so who knows? But I don't hate Czech at all. I'm not saying that I hate Czech, so don't take that the wrong way, you know. I'm just saying I don't like the way the system has gone now, you know, changing the name to MRIS or whatever it is. Who the fuck is going to ask for that? And if the Czech Institute has been going 25 years and you still can't go in a gym and ask for... Nobody goes, oh, everybody... If you go into a gym, you go, can I see the physio? Oh, yeah, okay, come and see. If you go in the gym, you go, can I see the massage therapist? Oh, yeah. Oh, can I see the master Czech practitioner? What, that mad guy, Paul Czech, that smokes drugs on his YouTube videos? Do you see what I mean? Because he's pumping that out in his YouTube videos, he's losing credibility with some people. If you're a healthcare professional and you're putting cannabis into your lungs, was you born with a joint in your mouth? Was you born with any extension to your body to smoke or take any drugs? No, you wasn't. So it's not meant to be there, is it? And if you're, you know, really high up in the fitness world, you should be projecting fitness, health and vitality, and what you do in your personal life stays personal. That's my opinion. Do you agree or do you disagree? Yes. You can watch his YouTube videos, you see him smoking cannabis. Did you not know? How could you not know? He's even got a course about cannabis on his website. But I'm not saying... What I'm trying to say is that if you're running a successful business and you're a very well-known... Oh, right, okay. And you're a very well-known face and you've got notoriety, smoking dope in your YouTube videos is not a good thing to do, a professional thing to do, in my opinion. Because drugs have been frowned upon, even though some drugs are good for you, you know, depending on what it is. It shouldn't be there, in my opinion. So you would never see me do anything like that because I'm a totally professional fitness guy. I may get more subscribers and more followers if I smoked a big joint, but I'd cough my guts up and I'd feel like crap. But do you know what I mean? You've got to keep your professionalism in the, you know, in the correct way. And I know in the fitness industry, a lot of guys are popping a lot of pills. If it's not steroids, it might be ecstasy at the weekend. And if it's not that, it might be cocaine. And if it's not cocaine, you might be smoking dope. But the way I look at it, if you can't get your buzz from exercise, meditation and overtoning with your voice or doing a deep meditation, then I think you're missing the point. So each is to their own, so I don't judge anyone. It's entirely up to, you know, the person whether they want to do. Hello, Jerry. Yeah, it could be a weakness. The way I look at it is, are you doing it for stress release? Are you doing it for because you're depressed, to get out of depression? It's been proven that it's not good for depression. It can push you more into depression, the same as alcohol. But the advice I give my clients, because I've worked with clients who have had addictions to different things, I say get the best option. So if you're going to smoke cannabis, go and buy the best of the best. If you're going to eat chocolate, like I do, I buy the best of the best, the most expensive. So I know I'm putting a good product inside my body. It's just that, you know, cocaine and stuff like that is astronomically a problem in the UK, and most people that see a personal trainer may be doing that because they've got the income to pay to see a trainer. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, so so they can afford to pay for your services and pay to have a snoot at the weekend. But like I've said to clients that I've had that do that sort of recreational stuff, just get the best. You can't stop people, and the more that you say don't do it like their teacher or like their mum or dad, the more you'll lose that client and they'll hate you. Who loves the wacky backy? You love the wacky backy? Or do I love the... No, wait a minute. I'll read that again, sorry. Yes, you didn't put who loves, you put you love. Do you love the wacky backy? Or you put in that there are lovers of the wacky backy. Now, at the end of the day, cannabis can cause psychosis of the brain. Some people get really forgetful on it, and the more and more that they do it. And Dr. Cass Ingram does a brilliant book. He's got a book about cannabis that I've read that is really, really good. Well, ayahuasca is another affair. I've spoken to many trainers, many other people about ayahuasca. It's not something you just jump into. It's something that you need to see a shaman practitioner for at least a year to work on your demons, the dark and the light side of you, before you do anything like that. Some people have come back and gone mad because of what they keep seeing after it or what they see during it. So it isn't something that I recommend any of my clients to do. I've had one client do it and it changed their life forever in a good way. But I think it only changed her life in a good way because she was working with me. I'd done some shamanic work with her before she went. And then she phoned me when she was in Peru asking where the best places were to go. And I told her, and she was very successful in the first job. Now she's changed her job. She's had a baby. She's really successful and doing amazing. So you got to be really, 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 really careful when it comes to taking ayahuasca, because you can buy it in Brixton Market now. Yeah, I think, if you want to experiment, that's up to you, but it's not my bag at all. And I've lost 5 friends to drugs that I really cared about, and because they committed suicide or had a heart attack, and they were all like 5 or 10 years younger than me, to see that happen around you, then you see the dangers of these things. And something happened to somebody that was taking a hallucinogenic. They thought they was all right. 3 months down the line, they died. So it's something you got to be really careful of and really aware of. And you shouldn't take it lightly at all, because it can really, really fuck you up. And just taking it for fun, it's fun to start off with. Yeah, so many will see it as fun to start off with, and then it becomes a habit. And then before you know it, when you're having a really tough time, you're reliant on it and you can't stop. And that's when, if you have like the friend that died was a doorman with me in a nightclub, and his mum committed suicide. His girlfriend committed suicide. Then he went out and took some drugs that put him on a depression. Then he went and hung himself. Now, I believe that if he wasn't doing that, he wouldn't have hung himself and he'd still be here today. But that's what drugs do, you know, they cloud your mind, and before you know it, you could be in the pit of hell and nobody can get you out unless you're very strong. So in my 20s, I was smoking a lot of cannabis myself and doing other stuff, and I was really, really ill. And I went to my mum's and I had a massive panic attack. And my mum and my sister said, "It's your own fault. We're not going to help you. You do it on your own." So that day I quit, and I've never been back since. And that's 30 odd years ago. And I've seen people die. I've seen people die in nightclubs. I've seen, you know, the carnage it leaves behind. And it does leave carnage behind, you know. So I don't really recommend it to anybody. So, but it's your choice. You know, we've all got freedom of choice of what we want to do with our lives and how we go out. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do with it, you know. I choose to be healthy, keep strong, keep fit, and be an advocate of health, wellness, strength, and keeping a clean mind and body. Any other questions? Any more? So I don't want you to think that I'm poo-pooing the Institute. I'm just telling you the pitfalls and how it's changed, the things I don't like. But I've done all the studying. I don't need to sit and do it all again. I know that they brought out the new license, which is not good neither, in my opinion. Yes, read the book, The Sugar Blues, for cutting out sugar. And then the next thing you can do is go on to stevia and stuff like that. And maybe get a parasite test done to find out whether you've got bugs in the body. No, I'm having a rest at the moment on courses. But I'm on the course of life at the moment with what's going on with the pandemic. But I'm writing, or nearly finished my second book, and then I'm focusing on the third book, which will be the best book, because that will be about everything in exercise, going from mind control to what creatine you should take, to how to go from a hard gainer to a big gainer, to how to relax your mind before you train. So the third book will have more and more in-depth stuff in it. Okay, Lee, yeah, I definitely will. I definitely will. The first book has done amazing. I'm quite pleased with the success I've got from it. And it was hard going, you know, having dyslexia. It's not easy to write a book. And the publishers were a bit of a pain, but I did it. And it's on Amazon, so you can purchase it anytime you want. $6.99, it's really cheap. But writing a book is a great business tool if you're a business, you know, if you're running your own PT business, and it can bring in new clients. But the same with the book, the same with your being a personal trainer or a checkie, you've got to market it, otherwise you can't sell it. How did I do it, man? You have got my book. Okay, Lee. Have you got my book, Lee, or not? How did I do it? I done it all on the iPhone. So what I would do is I would get home at night from a hard day or some meditate. Oh, you have? All right, thank you. Or having a, what did you think? Having a meditation, and then inspiration would come into me from there. Then on top of that, because I've read over 1,000 books, you can see the format and how books are written. And then I decided to make it quite personable to my clients. So I've got lots of client testimonials in my book as well. And I wanted to make it easy readable and not too thick or not too big. For the reason is most people only read probably 10% of a book. They won't read all of it. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Jerry. Did you leave a testimonial on Audible? If you haven't, can you, please? Thank you. I think I'm going to sneeze. Yeah, so I'd talk it into the phone, then I'd print it off, then I'd save it into a file. But first of all, I got the bare basics, got a normal book, you know, a blank book, and thought about what I was going to write at the beginning. You know, you have the acknowledgements. So I'd done the acknowledgements. Then I thought about the chapters, and then I would do a chapter every couple of days. And then before you know it, you've got all the chapters together, and then you just need to get a ghostwriter or a proofreader to proofread the book. And then once that's done, then you need to find the printers and the money. And then once you've done that, then you need to put it online. But then I researched keywords, which is really important for any book. If say your keyword was fitness, fitness comes up 5 billion times. So that means when it goes onto Amazon, it won't be a bestseller because there's 15 billion other books that you're competing against. So what you need to do is to make sure that your book has a name that is very low search term. So my next book is all about dyslexia and the brain, but I'm including diet and exercise in the book. And there's only 3 books written about that. So if there's only 3 books written about diet, lifestyle and exercise on dyslexia and how to use different exercises to power up the brain, all I need to do is get 45 people to buy it on the day that it comes out, then it will be a bestseller. Does that make sense? But to call yourself a bestseller is a bit ego-y again. Will it make more sales? I'm not too sure. There's one guy on YouTube, he done a bestseller, but he had 1 page at the beginning, 10 pages in the middle with nothing in it, and 1 page at the back. And he got a bestseller and done it through YouTube and Amazon. So anyone can have a bestseller as long as you sell enough books on the first day. And I think that this is where PR and marketing comes in. And this is what Paul Check has never used, is PR and marketing, because he's relying on all the students to buy his book. And that's what's made the book have such high sales. And they've been selling it to their clients. Yes, 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 yes. You can improve the neuro brain. And if you watch on Amazon Prime, there's a video, movie about the microbiome of the gut and how that is related to the brain as well. Now, when I done check level 3, I had my atlas assessed and I went round in a circle. Now I go straight forward. Then I couldn't do cross crawler and certain infant development exercises, so I concentrated on them for weeks and weeks. Now I can do them really easily and show clients how to do them really, really easily. And I found that my reading started to improve. And I found that cleaning up my gut, my mind got much clearer. And I felt much better in myself. If you're new to please subscribe, please subscribe. Any other questions? Yeah, so writing a book was a big achievement. It's in all the libraries as well. It's on Audible as well. I do want to do a hardcover eventually as well with it. But a real big achievement. It took me 2 years. It was hard going to get it out there and to find... Because I tried to get crowdfunding money to do it, and sent the bare basics of the book to a crowdfunding place. They took 6 months to get in touch to say no. And then the guy said, oh, he knows the check system, was really into it, and would I train him? I said, no, you're not even taking my book on. What the hell are you talking about? So I just told him to naff off, you know. But in the end, I found an independent publisher, and I had wavy books to start off with, and spelling mistakes and stuff like that, and we had to correct all that. So it wasn't an easy journey, but now it's done. As long as I have to pay a certain amount each year to keep it on all, it's on hundreds of websites, to keep it on hundreds of websites. But what you got to remember, Lee, from a marketing point of view, if you find the right publisher, your name will be everywhere. Whereas you get a bad publisher, or you just do it on Amazon, you're only on Amazon, you're not everywhere else. So you've got to really think about that and make the right decision. I got a friend that done a book, made the wrong decision. You can find his book, but it's only in 2 different places or 3 different places. Whereas mine's on 50 different websites. But I did spend, when the book came out, I spent lots of time pushing it out, putting it on different websites, and getting it out there as much as I can. Because if you don't do that, the publishers don't do that for you unless you've got a book deal or you're famous, you know. Any other questions about fitness, diet, lifestyle, God, taking drugs, anything else? If there isn't, then I'm going to switch off because it's getting late now and I need to meditate and have a bath and get to bed. So what did you think tonight? Did you all like it? Was it informative? Give me a thumbs up. And we'll do the same thing next Thursday. Same time, same place. Have your questions ready if you've got something specific you want to ask me. Probiotics. Oh, you're very welcome, Jerry. Probiotics, sauerkraut, olive oil, good digestive enzymes will all help with your gut. Oh, you're welcome, Chris, anytime. If you've got any other questions, I'm not going to switch off straight away. So if you've got any more questions, just fire away and I'll answer the best way I can. Garden of Life is a good company. Cass Ingram's stuff is really, really good as well. I think with supplementation, it's more of a personal thing. You need to find what works for you. Take the supplement, feed it in your body, take your pulse rate, and if your pulse rate goes really high, that could be a sign of that you got allergic reaction to it. If you feel that it keeps coming up, like some fish oils I've tried, they keep coming up, and I know that fish oil is not good. So you need to find what works for you individually, or get somebody to muscle test you to find out what works and what doesn't work for your body. So this is the thing with most supplement companies. They'll push it out, but everybody's an individual. And this is why I love the check system so much, is that no one person gets the same program from me. They all get different ones. And same with diet. So you've got metabolic typing. You've got, thank you very much. You've got fast oxidizers, slow oxidizers, and mixed oxidizers. When I'm doing a stretching program for a client, are you hypermobile? Are you tight? Or are you in between? Are you left brain dominant? Are you right brain dominant? Are you a mouth breather or a nose breather? You know? Are you endomorph, ectomorph, or the other one? So we take in all that into account. So that way everyone gets an individual program. You know, if somebody comes to me and they've been training for 10 years, correct, you know, in a good way, then I know that's going to be a great client. If I get a client that's not trained for 10 years, I know that's going to get some awesome results, but it's going to take time to teach them individual movement patterns. And this is what I didn't learn through the YMCA. This is what I learned through the Czech stuff. So don't ever think I'm slagging off Paul, because Paul is amazing at what he does and what they put out there. I just don't like the way that it's changed, in the way that changing the name, which is stupid. Oh, you're welcome, Lee, anytime. I just want to put great information out there, and if I can help any of you guys, then great. I've done my job, you know, and that's what it's all about. And this is the thing that I liked about Paul as well. If he reads a good book, he tells everyone, you know. And when you've got his manuals, in the back of the manuals, all the book that he's got the knowledge from is all in the back of the manuals, so you can educate yourself up to a high level, which is fantastic, you know. And this is what it should all be about, you know. It's just that the difference is that if you've got a trainer that's energy vampiring you and they don't give you anything back, tell them on their bike. But if the trainer is going to say to you, oh, right, Scott, you know, I want you to write me a program, but I really can't afford your rates, I'd say, well, buy me a book then. You can buy me a book for a tenner. I'll design you a program, you know. Or if a trainer says to me, oh, Scott, have you heard of this exercise? What do you think? And I might go, it's crap. But I might say to them, well, that's a great exercise and thanks for sharing. How can I share with you? You know, and I believe it's really important for sharing the love, but you've got to realise there's energy vampires out there. There's people that just want to nick stuff off of you and never give you anything in return. And energy can't be just like that. It has to be reciprocal with each other. Otherwise, you cancel each other out, you know. I've had clients ask me to help them move, and I've done that. You know what I mean? Because they're paying me $5,000, not to move them, but they're paying me $5,000 to work them out. So if they ask me to move them, of course I'm going to help them, you know. Or they say they've got a family problem. If I can help, I'll help, you know. But if I can't, I'll say I can't. But yeah, but the energy vampires are a real big problem, especially in today's society of free, free, free. I want everything for free. Like a lot of trainers give away a lot of free sessions, but does that mean they get clients from it? Very slim. I try not to do anything for free unless I think it's going to be valid and they're going to be grateful for what I've done with them. Not just take and go, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya, you know. All right then, guys, I'm going to go now. So it was wonderful sharing tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. And 8 o'clock next Thursday. If there's any change, I'll post it on the YouTube channel. What's it called? The community. I'll post it in there just in case something happens. If nothing happens, then it will be the same time, same place. Thank you very much. And if you've got a YouTube video or a video that you've done of you exercising any time, of you exercising, send it to my phone, which is 07841144878. And if it's really good, I'll put it online for you, and I'll mention your business and stuff like that, so you can get a bit of free promotion. All right then, thank you very much for listening to me waffle on tonight, and thank you for the thumbs up and stuff like that, and see you next Thursday. Bye.